Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Ott, and I am here to talk about our next project. It's going to be a Cubist-inspired drawing. And before we start, I want to tell you a little bit about the style of painting called Cubism and abstract. So that started a while ago, a long time ago, with an artist's name by the name of Pablo Picasso and also Georges Braque. And way back in the day in Paris, they started making artworks that were really different. And basically, they were kind of imagine that you would cut out a painting in different shapes and rearranged it all together, kind of like a puzzle. So I'm going to show you a few of Picasso's paintings so you can get an idea. And I'm sure you might have already heard about him. Now, let me start by showing you a picture of him. So this is Pablo Picasso, and that was a long time ago, but it's always good to look at what the artist looked like so you can remember something about them. Here's one that has lots of different shapes and colors, really bold colors, and again black lines. Now this one is a cubist kind of abstract painting, which means that you see lots of different shapes and maybe you can tell what it is, maybe you can't. The other thing is maybe somebody will see something and you will see something else. Now another one that he's famous for is the rooster. And so this one is a little bit less abstract, but again you see lots of shapes. Also the eyes are really Picasso-like. You could see some that are looking forward, some that are looking sideways. And then this one here is one of my favorites. It's called The Three Musicians. And you could kind of tell it's musicians, but here's the thing. If I cut all these little pieces, or actually I think that, I'm not sure if it's as if he would have cut those pieces and then rearranged them on a piece of canvas. But he actually painted them on the canvas. So you could see lots of squares, triangles, rectangles, spheres. So that's what we have with Cubism. The paintings are kind of cut up in geometric shapes and then colored in different ways. So we're going to do one today that is going to be Cubist inspired. So let's get started. All right, we are ready to start our Cubist project. So before we start, I'm going to show you a few images to get your imagination going and also so you can learn about the process. So for instance, we're going to start by drawing a very simple shape. In this case, it's a fish. And then we will use a ruler and some circles to create geometric shapes. So your fish might become something like this. So this is how cubists, would segment their pictures with lots of different areas. So each one here becomes a shape within a shape. I'm going to show you another example. For instance, if you wanted to draw a chicken. So here is my basic outline. So you want to make sure that you have, it's large spaces. Do not add small details. We will do that later. So here is an example of how it could be, with a few lines. So these are all straight lines here. And it is, segmented into triangles, rectangles, all kinds of other shapes. What about if you took just a flower shape? So this is a beautiful, just really simple flower. And then you can add some lines and make it into a cubist flower. And the fun thing about this is that these paintings, you can look at them from any different angle and they would look really good. So I see a half circle here and a smaller one, and then maybe some squares were added. So all kinds of different segments. And I'm going to show you one last one and then we'll start. I'll start a demo on one. Actually, I will be doing this one. So I'm going to start with the simple shape of a bird, and then I will add some segments. So lines, half circle, there's a full circle right here. So I'm going to take my piece of paper. Here's my piece of drawing paper, and I'm going to go straight to Sharpie. You're welcome to start with pencil. And the first thing I'm going to do is my basic bird shape. So I always like to start with an eye, and then I'm going to start with this kind of round shape here, and then I'm going to go back all the way. Here's kind of belly. To give me a sense of direction, I'm going to add my beak right away. So now I know my bird is right here. I'm going to add the wing before I add the back. So a nice big wing. And again, just keep your shapes very simple. And I'm going to bring this head down a little bit more. And then this line extends behind my wing. All the way here is going to be the tail. Tail feathers. So here. And here's my basic bird. So now I am going to take I have a ruler, and from home, again, just find circle shapes that you have around that could help you. You can even find any square shapes that you would have, or you could cut shapes out of cardboard if you'd like. But for this project, I think we could use just a few circle shapes. So I'm going to use this circle shape right here. I'm gonna put this away. And I'm going to decide if I want it outside or inside. I think I'm going to go to do the inside circle, which will be this one. And maybe another smaller circle around here with, this is just a condiment lid container that I use for my paints. And then I'm going to use my ruler to make some sections. So, and this is really, it's kind of fun. And to decide what would look best, how you separate each segment. Now remember that each segment will have a different color and maybe some patterns. So you do not want to make them too small, so you can add interesting details. I'm gonna go here, and so try to see, how you can connect lines that kind of are interesting or make sense. So here is, if you position your ruler this way, you can have a right angle. I have a triangle, maybe a smaller triangle could fit in here. And let's see, we're gonna go onto this side. Maybe I want a line that connects from this circle and goes up all the way. Maybe another one here. So if I wanted to have a parallel line, I'm just going to have my ruler here, and I just made a line here. How about if I make one on the other side? This time I'm just going to go up to the tail. So now here, maybe one here, and I'm going to continue like that for a while until I have enough lines. Now remember, do not make it too crowded. Alright, boys and girls, I'm ready to start coloring my Cubist bird, but before I do so, I wanted to talk about colors. So I'm going to be using markers, but again, you can use pencils, crayons, whatever you have at home. And I've separated them again by cool colors and warm colors. And you can see there's so many different shades, even just in the yellows. There's yellow, light yellow, medium yellow, all kinds of different oranges. So these ones will be your warm colors at the top and cool colors at the bottom. And I have this little poster that I use in the art room to remind us, just in case we forget, warm colors like the sun and cool colors like the sea. So I will be filling in my bird mainly with warm colors for the body of the bird and the details. Maybe I'll have a little pop of cool colors, and the background will be all shades of cool colors, which will be greens, mostly greens and blues, and a few pop of colors. So try to make a difference so that we can see your bird or whatever it is that you're doing. I also wanted to share this really cool book. It's a Pantone color book. It's a small book. Pantone has zillions of colors for designers and artists. But this one is really fun because you could see all the different color names and the different color shades. So some oranges will be more red or more pink. Some oranges will be more yellow. And they all have different really fun names. So like this one is a starfish orange. This is carrot orange, butterfly orange, candlelight orange, sunrise orange, sherbet orange. And it goes through all the different colors. So your reds, your pinks. Right now we're still in warm colors. Purple is in between. You can have some purples that are warm colors and some that are cool colors. So for instance, this one will be a cool purple and this one will be a warm purple. It has more red and it has more blue. And then we go into our blues. So all kinds of different shades of blue. We have sky blue, whale blue, ocean blue, apron blue, peacock blue, denim blue, and it goes on to greens: crocodile green, pistachio green, pickle green, cactus green, caterpillar green, eel green, potato brown, sea lion brown, pancake brown, caramel brown, chocolate brown, freckle brown, barbecue sauce brown. So this one is a redder, much more redder brown. And also the whites and the grays and the black. And here is the back. So I'm going to put this aside and start my birds. So when you're ready to start, it's ideal to have a piece of paper right next to your drawing so you can test your colors before you decide to start. So I'm going to start maybe on this section here, and I'd like to have two colors that are maybe next to each other on the color wheel. So maybe kind of a pinkish color like that, and maybe a darker orange or red. So for a little bit of contrast like that. And I'm going to be adding just a few kind of like stripes around here. So I'm going to go around. So in each one of your shapes, you can decide to add more shapes, or you can make it solid. You can also overlap colors. So when you do overlap colors, what you want to do is make sure you do your lightest color at the bottom, and then you can add details with a darker marker on the top. I am using all the markers that I have. So some are Sharpies, some are thick markers, some have a fine tip. So it's good to get them all out, try them out before you start, and then you can make sure that they work and that you can use them for your project. So I'm going to continue coloring my bird, and this will take me a while, so I will see you in just a little bit.